I need to put on the sound. I was so busy, I didn't do that. Here we go, because you want to have the sound. There we go. Let's try it again, everybody. Here we go.
What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening World. I'm really glad you're watching. A big hello to our beloved loyal subscribers of the Zoom room. Welcome to all of you watching on Facebook and YouTube. Some of you might be newbies to us. And of course, a big hello to those of you who watch the recording. I'm going to share 3 words, and let me know or think about, notice within yourself, I should say. What comes up for you when you think about love, faith, and creativity? That's what we're talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about these 3 beautiful, beautiful virtues, and we have a really wonderful group of people with us to talk about it. We have Lori Ann Speed back with us, and she, of course, is a beautiful musical artist, a wise sage, writing and channeling Mary Magdalene. We've always enjoyed having her on the show. So it's going to be wonderful to hear what she has to say about this topic. And our friends Havilah and Renee, such a gorgeous couple. They are back with us. In fact, I have to say, it all started with me wanting to bring them back. And it was like, what topic should we use? And then it's, well, let's talk about creative expression. And then that was when I thought, well, I've got to invite Lorianne to it. And we, of course, will have Diara and Desiree with us. They'll be sharing a little bit about faith and love and creative expression. And, we've started this new program of our community, getting to know our community. Well, we're going to get to know the wild monk of the Mystic Monastery tonight, Jerry Anderson, and he certainly has, I'm sure, something to say about faith and love and creative expression. And just a few days ago, I learned that a very dear friend of mine, longtime part of Love Coach Academy, that her beloved had a heart transplant. And so we're going to have them on the show tonight. I'm, of course, talking about my dear friend Heidi. And there she is at the hospital with her beloved husband and his brand new heart at San Francisco Medical Center. So we're going to hear from Heidi and Liam and what they have to say about the topic. But to get us all started, we are going to go to the man who has mastered creative expression in a way that connects to love and to faith and to all good things. My co-pilot, our good friend, Mr. Omashar.
Well, goodness me. I like that. I've never been described as I have mastered creative expression. I think it's a soul journey and it'll go on forever. And we're going to drop in at the moment with a nice, gentle song. And my beloved Desiree is going to be with us. Hang on a minute. Something's happening here. There it is. Oh, there's all these people coming in. God, there's so many people in the Zoom room tonight, Scott. And anyway, so take a few deep breaths. Let's start off as we intend to continue. And I'll put on some cave-like effects. And I love you so much. When there's nowhere left to turn, and you're feeling kind of low, slow down, and breathe me in. When the smile has left your face, and the tears roll down your cheeks, slow down, and breathe me in. When your river's running dry, and you're driven to your knees, slow down, and breathe me in. I am watching you, waiting for you to let my love into that lonely life of yours. Listen to me, and we can be together free eternally. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. When you're feeling out of touch, and you need someone to hold. Slow down, and breathe me in. Let some people in. Slow down, and breathe me in.
Let's go to gallery view and slowly send some twinkles and some love to our beloved Amishar and Desiree.
Thank you, Desiree. Thank you,
So
sweetheart.
beautiful. You two are a wonderful, wonderful pair. Yeah, thank you.
Actually, I'm an apple.
Okay. And Amishar and Desiree will be back with us a little bit later on in the show. I'm going to introduce our next guests. And some of you may remember them. They've been on the show before. But for those of you who are new, Havilah and her beloved Renee.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
She is a singer, sound healer, and wisdom keeper. And she was anointed as the fairy seer by Orion Foxword. She began hearing sacred chants while in nature at age 19. So I guess that was just a couple of years ago. She's been leading rituals incorporating songs from the spirits of the land for interfaith and pagan communities, actually for a little bit longer than that. She really is truly a shamanic woman living in both worlds. And so it's great to have Havilah with us. And her beloved Renee is a magician, mystic, spiritual singer-songwriter with over 30 years of study in the occult sciences. He's a lifelong student of Qigong and magical traditions, and he blends movement, ritual, and music to awaken spiritual intelligence. So welcome both of you back to the awakening world, and you bring all these skills and talents, and we're looking forward to what you have to share about how you interweave. Well, we've already heard all the other things you interweave, but how does love and creative expression and faith, how does that fit into all of your many offerings?
Love, creativity, and faith. So, do you want to do the Qigong conversation first?
You're doing the
Okay.
kitty's coming up here right now. So.
Our animals have also gotten very interested in being in there. So, love, creativity, faith. The thing that's really been on my heart, and I definitely think that faith and love automatically weave themselves into this, is creativity. And that, I'm going to move this closer right now. Because I feel that when we create, it's that one thing about us that makes us unique compared to everybody else, right? When we create something, we're combining all of our life experience. We're combining all of the ways that we've ever thought about ourselves, about the world, about the universe, if we've traveled. When we create, all of that essence of our life comes through in that moment. And creativity is really powerful because, especially when it's like, when you get in the moment and you're in the flow, that's when we're really present. And a lot of Westerners don't do great in the present moment. We tend to future track or go into the past a lot. And so when we're creating and we're in the flow, it just feels alive, like you feel the most alive and the most connected. So for me, creativity and honoring that within each of us is actually honoring our connection to God, or to whatever that God might, whatever you call it, whether it's the Great Spirit or just the cycles of life and how everything's interconnected. It might be, your faith might be about God, goddess, many goddesses, like the Hindu Indians, they have so many gods and goddesses. So faith is that interconnection between creativity and what I create as an expression of my love in this world. And for me, that looks like music. And it's interesting that I got my start singing in a church. I mean, I sang even before I was singing at that church. My first solo was at 4 years old with a group of people that had been in the military. It was a Memorial Day performance. But shortly after that, I started singing in church. So all the way from from kindergarten all the way, age 5, all the way to 18, my parents and I were song leaders in a church. And it was a very liberal Catholic church in rural Wisconsin. Well, the church itself, we drove an hour away to a city. But one day I was singing with my parents instead of on stage like it usually was, because they were song leaders. So every Sunday they would lead a song. But this one day it was actually Easter. And so we had guests. We had a guest choir. So we weren't performing that day. We were audiences in the pew. And so they were singing their incredibly amazing gospel song. And this is a story I wanted to share because I wanted to give you all a chance to relate to this experience and consider maybe there's somewhere in your creative experience where someone said something that either influenced you positively or negatively. And so that's why I wanted to share this, because it leads to a chance for us to kind of reconsider, is this still a belief that I want to keep about my experience? So for example, my experience was when I was 13, we were in the church, the gospel choir was singing. I'd never ever heard a gospel choir live. I've never had that experience in our church either, because it was the Midwest. There wasn't super mixed area there. And they were singing, and my whole body was like, I was feeling that music. I was moving, I was clapping, I was singing with my whole body, my whole mind, the spirit, like just everything felt so connected. It felt amazing. I felt so connected to God. I can't remember which song it was, but it was very like open, loving, and joyful, of course, because Easter is like when he is risen again, right? So anyway, all this was happening, and my dad turns to me and he says something to the effect of, I don't think this music is the right music for church. I'm sure he did not say it with those words, but this is kind of what my little mind heard him say. It was something to the effect of, it's too flamboyant. It should be more like, somber, stoic, prayerful. And so whatever he said, and I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but that statement went in my mind, I made it mean, my dad doesn't want me to sing full out.
Mm-hmm.
And neither does God. And so it was so hard for me to like get a big sound and sing with my whole body and my whole voice. And Renee knows, because he met me pretty young. We met pretty young in our lives. Speaking of love, I was lucky enough to find this guy early in my life. And he helped me also coax out my voice and learn how to sing with that bigger spaciousness. But it took many years of me going through life struggling with that. And then I realized one time, those simple guided meditations can really do us good. I was doing one and kind of floated back to a time to see if there were any times that were affecting my singing and my ability to feel good and sing openly and that sort of thing. And this memory had come up. So since then I have talked to my dad. Of course, he did not mean for any of that to happen. And he loves me. He loves my voice. He's also an incredible musician, as is my mom and singer. And so that's all been fully resolved, thankfully. But, and we even got to sing together just this last November, right before Thanksgiving. My dad turned 75. So we were all on stage, me, Renee, both of my parents, and our son, singing with a whole bunch of relatives in the audience and our daughter. And singing the song Stand By Me, and I realized, like, whoa, there's none of that anymore. Like, I'm fully expressed, and it was a very beautiful turning moment, like full circle moment is what I mean. And a turning point too, to just realize that like there is no more pain around any of that. It's all been healed. So the reason I share all that is because I would love for everyone here to just take a moment to think about, is there anything that happened to you in your life that maybe this story reminded you of around your creativity?
Really
Something.
love that you bring that up, because I think most people have been stifled. all it takes is an authority figure to tell a person once that they're not good at something. Oh, you can't sing. Or, oh my God, you can't throw a baseball. Or, oh my God, that sounds terrible, you know. And if it's, you know, our dad or a teacher or someone that we've put up on a pedestal as an authority figure, it can, for the rest of our life, we might contract when we go to sing. We contract when we go to throw the baseball. We contract when we try and play guitar because we've formed that self-concept. So I really like that you're suggesting that we all look at where might we have stifled our creative expression based on what an authority figure told us. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And yeah, so if you think of it, when you think of it, or if you had a thought come up, what you can do is just simply get yourself back into that moment and tell yourself now, as the adult, no, we don't need to believe that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's as simple as that. So just take a moment. You don't have to believe that anymore. It doesn't serve you. It's probably not even true. It's not true for you. And so with that, I'm going to count to 3, and then we'll just clap. Nice strong clap, and that releases it. So 1, 2, and 3. Let me just shake it off. And hand back to your heart. And so I'd love to share a song with you. I don't know if this moment works, Scott, for you.
Yeah, but I'd love for us to hear a little bit from Renee first, just so we can, you know, connect to this beautiful man. And then I'd love to hear a song.
Yes. All right, great. Let's do it.
Yep.
Move this back.
And while you're getting set up, I want to, because I always like to read what our audience is writing. Eleanor Joy wrote, from what I understand, we are beings of love, joy, compassion, peace, and creativity. That's who we are. And every flower in the garden is indeed unique and beautiful. Creating can take place in the kitchen, writing a book, painting, or forming a group. The potential is infinite. So thank you. And Renee, welcome to the Awakening World. What would you like to share with our audience before you strum that guitar?
And would you like to move the camera a little bit so that Renee's more in the shot?
Okay.
Please.
Just a little low. It's just a little low of me. Well, you know, what Lava Havla said is just spot on. You know, I'm a Qigong practitioner for many years in the many different modalities. I find that Qigong is the most accessible for activating everything from nervous regulation, emotional regulation. As it turns out, the heart meridian is the heart seat of creativity. So as far as love is concerned, love lives in the heart, right? And the concept here of faith is really interesting. Faith is the area where the boundaries of your intellectual thinking begin to melt away. Because when you're creating, you're not thinking, you're just being. So there's a lot of trust that needs to be there, you know. So you have the faith, and this takes practice, of course, because you don't know if you're going to get it right. Oh my gosh, what's going on? And you hit a chord, it's the wrong chord. Oh my God, I just messed up. But then you just keep going. It takes practice. But that faith opens up to the source. I know we talk about, we come from, there's a song, Scott, we come from the same source, that powerful love force.
Right.
Right. So what are we opening up to? What is our heart is opening up to the source, where all the computer bank, so-called computer bank of creativity is. So we're pulling these inspirations out of a collective, right? But the faith is needed because if you can't, there's no thinking involved. You need to have the faith. And it goes beyond just belief, because belief is a set of concepts or values, and integers, stuff like that. The faith is actually putting that to quiet, an emptiness. The heart is open, and then through the heart comes the intuition, the creativity, and the happenstance, purposeful accidents begin to occur. So that's how it flows for me. The love in the heart, which is the juice, the faith, which is the door that opens, the creativity begins to flow forth. So that's all that I wanted to say. That's okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love that. Thank you.
You want to tell them about the song?
Yeah.
I love the song. Havla wrote this song. We were in New York, and she did record it. It's got a kind of a gospel feel. I couldn't get the gospel thing on the piano. I just had to come with the chords today, but she'll tell you all about the song.
Yeah, he just came up with this today. This amazing musician with his.
All right. George Noble said, I love singing gospel and do feel it through my entire body. So we all appreciate gospel. And boy, the first time you hear evangelical gospel music, it is a life-changing experience. Absolutely.
It is. Yeah.
There's nothing else like it.
It's a good.
I'm not, to be fair, I'm not doing gospel right now. But,
this could be.
It lends to it.
This could be a total gospel song. It could be. Musicians out there, if you hear it, you might hear it, but it could be a total like.
You can imagine.
Song. You can imagine.
Right.
Oh, my dog is right in my way. You want to say hi, Stormy? Just for a minute, because.
Of course. Oh my God. What an adorable dog.
This is Stormy. She loves
Stormy.
music. She just loves it. Okay, I'm going to let you know. Okay, so she's. So this is called Sing Out Loud. It's by me, Havla Starlight. I do not give Facebook or any other Meta run place permission to use my song for anything. It is mine.
Yeah.
I have written it. Here it goes. Sing out loud, sing out proud, make this world a brighter place. Heed your truth with all your heart, just get out of your own way. There's no need to play small, 'cause we're here to shine after all. Our hearts will lift us higher when we shine like the brightest star. So sing out loud, sing out proud, make this world a brighter place. Heed your truth with all your hearts, just get out of your own way. There's no need to play small, 'cause we're here to shine after all. Our hearts will lift us higher when we shine like the brightest star. Rise up and sing, free your mind. Rise up and sing, free your soul. Stand and be counted, stand up tall. We're all here for a reason, after all. So sing out loud, sing out proud, make this world a brighter place. Heed your truth with all your heart, just get out of your own way. There's no need to play small, 'cause we're here to shine after all. Our hearts will lift us higher when we shine like the brightest star. Shine, 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 shine like the brightest star. Shine, 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 shine like the brightest star. In whatever way is your unique creative genius, shine that way. Share your gifts, share your creativity. That is you. That is deeply you, between you, your connection to spirit, and all your wisdom and life lived experiences, talents. Shine like a brightest star. Shine, shine, shine. Shine like the brightest star. That's my
Wow. I'm going to go to Gallery View so they can send you some love. What a perfect song for what we're talking about tonight, right?
No, huh?
so much.
And I definitely could hear how that could be done as gospel. Absolutely. Just got to get a few more amens in there.
Amis in there, yeah.
And
Seven
hallelujahs.
chords.
Shoshana writes, epic song and your voice is beautiful too.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
hey, I did not ask Renee to do this in advance, so this is going to kind of come as a surprise. But I'm curious: is there any qigong you could offer to our audience right now for those of us sitting at a computer screen? Just to kind of wake us up, and I mean that song woke us all up. Curious for those of us who spend a lot of time sitting and looking at a computer screen, what would be some qigong that might support us?
Well, how about a bringing down heaven and then shaking the 9 gates? That'll get everybody going.
Far out. Let's do it.
So you can sit in the chair for right now, right? I mean, we do the standing or sitting. So the bringing down heaven is actually bringing up the earth energy and then the heaven energy and then mixing them so heaven and earth meet together creates peace. So all you're going to do as you bring the hands up is you inhale and then exhale and bring the hands down. Let's do it about 10 times. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up,
Go to Ballad Gallery View.
exhale down. Yep. Inhaling up. Exhale, bringing down the blue sky to the feet. Up, bringing up the yellow earth to the top. Exhale, blue sky down. Good. Then we're going to mix all the colors. You mix the yellow of the earth and the blue of the sky to create an emerald green, which is the color of this planet. Inhaling.
Or the color behind Omashar's backdrop.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now you might feel a little bit of a tingling sensation or sort of like a sheen or goosebumps. So that's the 6 chi or the heavenly chi that we're bringing down, mixing with the earth. And maybe a little bit of warmth is also beginning to take, maybe a little bit, like I'm sweating a little bit already, right? Just a little teeny sweat. Great. Last one here. Inhale up. Exhale down. Great. And then we're just going to shake the 9 gates. For this one, we have to stand. So, and just start shake the hands, shake the shoulders with the hands, and then bounce up and down. Yeah. And you can either pump up with the feet, but the toes stay connected to the earth, or you can just bounce with your knees. As long as the fingers are going out, we keep on just bouncing. And when you have the bounce, make sure your head is alignment with your tailbone and see if you can just do like a twisting motion to one side and then to the other side. And then keep shaking. And then I'm going to count to 3. We'll do a little check-in. We're gonna stop and just hold the hands to the side and do a check-in. 1, 2, 3. Now hold the hands to the side. Is the hands buzzing? Feel the buzz in the hands? So your chi's been activated. That's how you know chi's activated. Buzzy hands, warm feet, moist mouth, and your chi's turned on. That took like 5 minutes. So hope that works. Hope that helps everybody.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, my hands were buzzing.
Yeah.
And certainly want to hear from anybody else in the audience who wants to share what their experience was. I'll take a look and see what pops up in the chat box. Carol Craig writes, I'm adding Qigong to my exercise regimen. And earlier she talked about how she recently joined a Kirtan chanting group. 40 of us chanting for 90 minutes. It really moves me. I've never sung in a group, so this has been a wonderful experience.
Oh, good.
Beautiful. Scotty Satori has the buzz.
Right.
And Dana and Renee say definite buzz, love it. Omashar says yes, buzzing hands and more awake. Thank you. Eleanor Joy has buzzing hands. So we are now the global buzzing hands tribe.
That's right, the buzzing hands tribe.
Beautiful. What else would either or both of you like to share tonight?
My main message, I guess, that I just wanted to share is that if you do nothing else this year, make sure you honor your creativity somewhere along the way, because it's the thing that gives us juice and joy, and that juice and joy is actually what helps us stay healthy and well, and with everything that's happening in our world and our knowledge of all the things happening all around the world at all times, it's really important to take time to fill our own cup. And I can't think of a better way to do that than as a creative, just a chance to play, basically. And creativity can look many different ways, just like one of the people in the chat had mentioned. It's literally anything that lights you up and that gives you excitement, joy, and passion. And most likely, it's more important than you know. It's more important to you than you know, and more important to others to get a chance to experience your creativity. So I encourage you to share it. Yeah.
And you know, when you become the act, that you're no longer just doing the act, you become the act itself. That means you've made that connection. It's a very Zen way of looking at it. But yeah, whether you're playing guitar or making dinner, you become that. The creativity flows through that. There's a separation between you and the act and that whole creativity. So
Presence, isn't it? It's like presence and play.
Yeah. Divine presence. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It is, I think, that permission we give ourselves to just get into it and be there and stay there.
Yeah.
In that flow.
Well, I'm going to take people to your websites, and we're going to start with Renee, and his website is magicalintelligence.com. Magicalintelligence.com. I am accepting your cookies.
Thank you.
And and I remember the last time you were on the show, I thought to myself, I want to take advantage of a complimentary consultation of Qigong. And I never did it, but this time I'm really going to do it. So everybody, if you go to magicalintelligence.com, click book a complimentary session, click on the calendar. I'll do that during our next break. But I'm going to schedule this time. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Because I definitely I need more movement in my life. So thank you. I'm excited.
Thank you so very much for doing that. And thanks for
well, thank you for offering it. And our dear Havilah, her website is goddessheartcoaching.mycanva.site. And I'm sure you mean welcome sister and brothers. We certainly
yes, I'm leading a mastermind for women, which is why it says sister at the top.
Oh, totally. I'm just teasing you a little bit. But here's where you can learn all about her. And is the Goddess Heart Mastermind still available?
You know what? It is. It actually is starting in February. I had a series of unfortunate events, and I pushed it until February. So it's totally open. People can hop right in.
Fantastic. All right.
Anyone who's interested and wants to know more can just book a consultation as well.
Okay, great. And you also do group coaching or one-on-one, and it does appear like you really specialize in women, and the majority of our audience are female gendered. So wonderful. Anything you want to add about kind of what your favorite things to work with people on are, Havilah?
Yeah, I definitely incorporate a lot of the fairy seership training, actually, that I should say we both he did the same thing as me, but he just didn't have it in his bio. I use a lot of those practices. They're embodiment practices that are very healing. And so the clap was kind of a very simple version of some deeper workings that I bring my women groups through when we're doing the healing work. The mastermind, however, is all about creativity and what I was just sharing about. And it's a container for people that are really passionate about their creativity, and they want to make that be the thread that leads them through this next 6 months of this year. And they would have support with me through that, and in a group of a sisterhood and a mastermind through Zoom. So if that's something you're interested, you can email me at transforminglivesdaily@gmail.com, and I can go ahead and get you a link to. I didn't have my link up on my thing, so so I'll just send it to you through email. But transforminglivesdaily@gmail.com, and lives is with an S at the end.
And somebody's asking, Shoshana's asking, did you say fairy ship seer program? Could you be a little more clear about what that is?
Fairy seership. There's only 2 people in all of, is it the U.S. or the world?
The
No,
world,
the US.
the world right now.
That's so,
It's still the
that
world.
seems
There's,
crazy.
there's only two.
Anyway,
yeah.
it's a very,
Yeah.
it's really sacred work, very deep and super healing. So, Orion Foxwood is our teacher, and I don't really know what else much to say
Well,
about
yeah, I'll explain. So the fairy tradition is so a lot of the practices go back to ancient Ireland, before the Celts came over, before the Druids, and all of those practices were taken from there. And it's predicated on the idea that within the world there are intelligences called the Shining Ones, or the people of peace. The original inhabitants of this land before humans came along, before mankind came along. They're known as the fairy tribe, or the fae, or the Elohim, or whatever terms that they want to give it. So this particular practice is an encounter practice where we learn how to connect with your fairy companion. Basically, we both have companions, and learn how to co-create in alignment with nature, to bring upon evolution and peace to humankind, basically.
And I'd like to add that the first thing we do before any of all that, or as a part of the steps of that, is ancestral healing work.
That's number one.
It's number one. So that's how we used to start.
And that is so important. I mean, I think that's a big part of what we're here to do, is to really, and I've said this before, so it's a repeat for some of my viewers, but our ancestors made such extraordinary sacrifices.
Yeah.
They had really hard lives, fighting in wars, crossing the plains, crossing the oceans, working 3 jobs, working really hard, uncomfortable, unpleasant jobs for peanuts, with just one goal in mind: a better life for their offspring. And that's us. We've got the freedom, we've got the abundance. I always like to say our grandparents or ancestors going back that far and beyond could never have imagined Whole Foods Market, right? Really? I mean, they were living on potatoes, right? And so our job is to take the freedom and abundance that they've provided us and return it by working on the ancestral healing, working on the trauma that came down through the lineage, because they didn't have the time to deal with the alcoholism or the low self-esteem or even domestic violence.
Right.
That's up to us. So
Right.
Yeah, and
thank you
typically
for doing that beautiful, beautiful work. And I love that's what you started with. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Havilah and Renee, I know you'll be back on again. Stick around. We have a wonderful, wonderful show tonight. And thank you for getting us off to such a wonderful start.
you're so welcome. Thank you for
Welcome. Thank
inviting
you.
us back.
Thank you so very much, Scott. Look forward to hearing everybody.
We are looking at our next guest, and she is many things. This is Lori Ann Speed. And of course, many of you are big fans of her daughter, Tatiana Speed. So for all the moments that we've enjoyed Tatiana, let's thank this woman who raised Tatiana primarily as a single mother, gave birth to her. And I remember maybe a year and a half ago, Tatiana said, my mom's a really good musician. You should be on the show sometime. And that started this wonderful extension of Lori Ann blessing us with her wisdom and her music. And some of you may recall that she's been spent many, many years in communion with Mary Magdalene and has put together some extraordinary writings that are taking shape into a book. So Lori Ann's creative expression comes through her music. She's very accomplished. She's also a medium. She works with people, helping them to connect with loved ones and spirits and energies that we can't all see with the physical eye. So she truly has many different forms of creative expression that clearly are connected to faith and love. So with that, welcome back to the Awakening World, Lori Ann.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to be here and be on stage with you and everyone else. Really, really sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, and I know you've been watching a lot of our shows recently. It always makes me happy when I know you're watching the show.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that myself, actually, because I've said it to you, and I just love saying it because it's so true. As I come in to watch the show, and I feel, I think I feel pretty good. But boy, do I feel really good by the end of the show. There's some things, the frequency just is so uplifting. It's really great work you do. It's really special.
Thank you. Well, you're doing that right now. You're uplifting our audience. So, what would you like to share tonight on the theme that we're talking about?
Thank you. Yeah, creativity, love, and faith. You actually can't say one without the other in a way. As I know there was some talk of earlier it being just creativity, but I love the addition of these words. And creativity has never been something that I struggled to access. I think my challenge has been learning how to live with it, how to trust it, how to sustain it, how to live with it in life. And because life kind of gets in the way of creativity.
Right?
But yeah, so I'm a Canadian, but I'm a Vancouver composer, neoclassical composer, pianist, recording and performing artist, and as well as a clairvoyant. But this work with the piano is what I want to talk most about. I've released a lot of music, probably 8 albums. It's been a long journey, and that journey, like any journey, has all these ups and downs and great, beautiful vistas and deep quagmires and booby traps and trial by fire and more great vistas and tops of mountains. And it's been an amazing journey, and love shows up for me as devotion to this work, devotion to it. I mean, it's when you think about how long one is a musician, how long I've been studying and practicing and learning, and it's not something that's just a short duration. And so what sustains that is some kind of devotion. It must be devotion. That's how it feels for me. It's really my spiritual practice. And the sound is like, I've got this 7-foot grand piano in a small space. It's just, I'm just surrounded by sound. I'm in the sound. I am the sound. The sound's inside, the sound's outside. It's an incredible cathedral to occupy. And all the frequencies, the piano is this full range of frequencies even. So if you want to talk about sound healing, the whole orchestra is here. If you think about a symphony, every instrument is represented on the piano. So there is this transformation. It's really the work of the soul. Music, I think for all musicians, that's probably, they'd all agree that it's really the journey of the soul. And in that journey, we get to be better musicians over time. But really, I know what I'll pass with is this soul that's grown through this journey of music and composing and writing. And as a spiritual practice, we can't talk about it without also talking about presence. And there's just no escaping anything in a way, because one of my adversities with music has been a high level of performance anxiety. And that just puts you right in the head. And so my practice again and again was to get out of my head into the heart, into my heart. And what does the music want to say? What does the music want to give? And I know I did this one show. One of the things that I've been doing since 2011 is I write programs that explore kind of thought-provoking idea or topic, and I combine poetic spoken words with the piano compositions to take us on a journey. And I did one called Nature Speaks, and I imagine us all in the audience, and what if the spirit of nature could inhabit the sound waves of that music and deliver to each person a unique message to them about nature, and of course the importance of taking care of it. And so I still feel that way, that we're these conduits for some message that comes through. Instrumental music it doesn't have words. And I left music for about 8 years at a certain juncture, and when I came back because of a big epiphany I had, and the epiphany went on for about 2 or 3 weeks, and at the end of it, I heard God say to me, "Lend me your hands." And so that's, again, where for me devotion shows up. How love shows up is like, I'm so happy to do that. And I had left it because I felt like I had lost, I'd been in the music industry for a period of time and felt some despair, some loss of, anyway, I focused mostly on healing others, like being transformational, healer and multimodality. And anyway, when that epiphany came and I returned to music with a new vision for myself and for it, and I was so happy to do so. I never felt 100% myself without it, honestly. So it's a very deep topic for me on this level, of spirit, of faith, of love, and creativity. I'm going to stop there for a minute. Yeah, I think you have a question for me.
No.
I thought I heard something. I thought I heard somebody trying to speak. Okay.
No, this is beautiful.
Oh, good. Excuse me. Yeah, so even like as you mentioned, clear seeing, being a clairvoyant, is so creative. Why? Because we're dropping out of the mind. I can't do that work from my mind. There's no way. None of what I see is in my own database. It can't be found there. And my music is the same thing. It doesn't come from my database. It's a very receptive, it's like being in the field, the creative field. And what is that field? Well, it's an energetic, spiritual, loving. It's love, like all energy, everything. We're in a field of love. And whether we feel it all the time or not, it is ever present within and without. And so to access it, we have to drop into presence. So that's been so much of my journey with the music, is this drop in. Okay, even before this show, I felt nervous. Okay, drop in. And what wants to be served? What am I serving? What is it serving? And to get out of the way of that. And that's the same with, I wasn't a writer, like I hadn't written a book before. And giving these directives for Mary Magdalene to do this work. And I'm like, oh, you really have the wrong person, because I don't even know how to write a book, how to write. And that's the head speaking. And again, another journey, a 12-year journey writing this book. And again, so here's where the faith comes in. Faith is like there are no guarantees for all this work. There's not one guarantee. We do all this work of training, and so there really is only the journey and the growth of the soul. And then we hope it serves, and that it lands somewhere meaningful, and that it contributes in a positive way to someone's well-being. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to be able to write, record, to record and perform the music I write. And then so blessed to be, I've played a lot online when COVID hit. I was on an app called Clubhouse. It's a social audio app. And I played a lot there. And oh my goodness, so rewarding to hear how it does land, how it does touch, how it does transform, what it does for others. And that's the best I can hope for. And so, I mean, I play away here by myself, rehearsing, writing, practicing. And it really is for sharing. It's not complete unless it's given away. And for me, that's the really beautiful, meaningful part. And that's the love. That's more love in action, because, you know, I'll speak for myself, I really have to transmute what makes it hard to play in front of people in order to serve that love. It'd be easier not to lots of times. You understand what I'm saying, Scott? Yeah, so that's how love is served, and how whatever wants to come through that music, which I'm just a conduit for, is served. So, and that being present, like that constant invitation to drop out of the mind and into the heart, well, it just becomes ever more apparent how all that we cherish, all that we value is found through the doorway of dropping in, not in the head. All that we value, love, creativity, peace, harmony, truth, is accessed when we have this felt sense of connection to ourselves, to being deep within, deep in the body. So it's a real spiritual practice. It is my spiritual practice. Well, I have a spiritual practice too, but there's that. And I have to say, like I say, creativity has never been a struggle, but what has been a struggle is all the creativity, all the projects, and then I get spread so thin and it's like diffuse, and then I'm trying to pick 1 or 2, 3 things, and that's really hard for me to do. I love them all, and I love that process so much. There's love again, you see? Loving the process. So, should I play a piece of music now, or do you have some question? I'd love to hear from you, Scott. I feel like I'm doing a real monologue here. I can't hear you if you're speaking.
Because
You're doing
I muted myself so that I wouldn't make noise. I want to read a couple of the comments that have come in.
Sure.
Susan Woolrich writes, Lori Ann, you seem to me to be the heart and love embodied with pure sweetness. And Shoshana writes, Lori Ann, this is such an inspiring share. I resonate with all that you're sharing. Such a touching transmission of the heart. And Susan Bloomquist writes, the phrase doors of perception by Aldous Huxley describes how art is perceived by all, and the door is opened for some. It's the field which all understand that is perceived by great artists like Lori Ann in their creative expression. And I'm going to read one more comment that came in. And this is from Rachel on Facebook. And she writes, Lori Ann, you're inspiring me to remember that what I create must be given away to others. So you inspired Rachel on Facebook. So thank you for that. So yeah, your purity is really beautiful, Lori Ann. You have a very pure heart. And it touched me also what you said about that love is whatever it is you create, giving it to someone else, sharing it with someone else. I like that sentiment a lot. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And we all are creative, like Renee and Havila. I hope I said your name right. I apologize if I didn't. Like we're all creative, and Oh my goodness. Guess who that is making that noise on my computer? That would be Tatiana Speed. Doesn't she know I'm busy?
I told her you're going to be on the show tonight. We were texting each other today.
Oh, good. Yeah, so we're all creative, and it comes with the body. It comes, and I love the previous message from Renee and Havilah, because we need, like, just speaking to the person who commented in Facebook, is that's it. We're giving and receiving, and the heart chakra. That's what the heart is. The four chakras, the energy and information center for giving and receiving love, and so creativity is the giving and receiving of love. It's really from the heart. I think that really bears repeating again and again. That as a foundation for giving and receiving love, we love ourselves and we have self-compassion, and it's all a practice of making something and going, look what I made, and I hope it has meaning for you too, and that's just as simple as that, isn't it? Oh my goodness!
You're popular
No,
god.
that's Tatiana. That honestly, I gotta tell her. What is? I should just tell her, come on the show.
Tell her to come on the show. I'll send her the link.
Yeah, send her the link and tell her that her mother's busy right now and she's
I will do that. So
Thank
I'm going to
you.
read a couple of comments, and while you play piano, I will
Okay.
text your daughter.
Okay.
George Noble writes, "You're sounding love the entire time you've been speaking, Lori.
Oh, good.
You are a soothing balm for me." Grace Denise writes, "Thank you so much for your heart-opening and inspiring and profound share." Havilah and Renee, our guests that we just had on, right? "I love your talk and really relate." Susan Woolridge writes, "I love that you play on a full piano with vibrating strings."
Yeah, that's right. Acoustic all the way, man.
All right, so that's maybe a good segue. Tatiana's asking me for the link.
Oh, that's what she wanted the link, I bet. She wants to come on. That's great. She didn't realize that was just exactly when I was speaking, and I couldn't help her out with that right then. And I want to say, because there's so much love in here right now, like my heart's bursting, and then Tatiana's come on your show, and she's just bloomed so much, Scott, through all that you've done together here. And so I'm really delighted to be on the show myself. And because I always was watching from afar and admiring the work that you were all doing. And I'm just so proud of her. And you've just really kept inviting her in, and each time she just expanded even more and more, and it's really something. So
well, and thank you, because it's not easy to be a single mother, and
no, it's not.
To have raised her and for her to be such a radiant human being with such beautiful creative expression. Thank you. Congratulations to you, Lorianne.
And Tatiana, your mum was just extolling your virtues as you came in. So you're here just at the right time to hear this maestro.
Wow. Yay.
Tatiana Speed, you were phoning right when I was speaking. I couldn't answer.
Okay, I understand. You were doing important things.
I wasn't doing important things. Hi, honey.
Hello.
And I'm just going to play a piece. I'm going to play Summer in Time. And again, I want to thank you, Scott, for inviting me to play. It's a real honor to be here. So this piece is called Summer in Time. And it isn't, as you recall, I mentioned I do these spoken word shows, concerts, in real life concerts. And we have a hero-heroine. And it's a hero-heroine who does go on a heroine's journey through trials and tribulations. And the inevitable moment comes when they fall into a deep sleep next to a river, and they get taken on this journey where they see the beauty of where they're shown by a wise mentor the beauty of their soul. And then the next piece, so our hero heroine awakens and has still this flavor of this journey and the seeing the beauty of their soul, and they meet their beloved, and what becomes known to them is that everyone sees the beauty of their soul somewhere in time, and this is somewhere in time.
Love
So
that.
enjoy it.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Isn't that just the most exquisite, beautiful music?
Oh, thank you.
Oh my heavens. I'm going to read some of the comments flying in. Lorna Sass put it perfectly, straight from heaven. Tatiana says, so beautiful, Mama. Diara says, wow. Damien and Christine says, so beautiful. Havilah and Renee say divine. And of course, you can see lots and lots of hearts coming up, other comments coming in. Absolutely beautiful. I want to let people know how you can get more of Lori-Ann Speed. Easy to remember her name, her website, because it's her name, Lori, spelled Lori, Ann, A-N-N, speed.com. LoriAnnSpeed.com. And is there anything you want to make sure we look at on your website here? Anything you want to direct me to?
And no, there's music on there, but you can look at that on Bandcamp. There's not. Oh yes, I know what I want to direct people to. My email. If you'd like to stay in touch with me as much as I'd like to stay in touch with you, please consider joining my Staying Connected and join. I have great aspirations for staying in touch with people, but it's very long you won't get a lot of emails, but I would like to stay in touch. I would love that. So please consider
Everybody do what I
joining.
just did. If you just click mailing list, put in your name and email address so we can stay connected to this wonderful friend. And Lorianne, you have become a big part of our family now. So I definitely am imagining that if we're blessed, you will come and be with us many, many more times in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I would love to. Thank you, everyone. So nice to be here.
Absolutely. I got so wrapped up in your music. I need to take a look at the agenda to see what's next. I really got lost.
Peace Tribe announcements, then an Omi song.
Okay. You know, my heart's so open from what we've seen with Renee and Hawla and now Lorianne. Last week, or on one of our recent shows, I guess it was Saturday Night Show, some of our beloved members in the chat box were conversing understandably about some of the hard things going on in the world. And our guest, Renee and Anthony, got confused. They thought they were responding to what they were reading in the chat was what they were talking about. Of course, it was more about protests and what's going on politically. And I asked people to kind of chill down on it. And one of our most beloved members has sent me many, many audio notes to listen to. And I guess I want to address this for a moment. That's going to be the Global Peace Tribe announcement tonight. I'm horrified by some of the things that I see going on in the world. Just today, I wish I can tell you, I had a whole epiphany about how my recent experience of being asked to leave the home that I thought was going to be my forever home. I had the epiphany of, oh my God, well, that's what millions of Americans are going through right now. Millions of Americans are going through, oh my God, is this even, can I stay? Will I be taken away? Will I be thrown out? Will I be, millions of Americans. So I want to make clear, I have tremendous compassion and empathy for what's going on in the world. And I'm fine with there being some chat about it, of course. I'm not here to muzzle anybody. But I do want for our show to be a source of inspiration. All that stuff going on in the world, it'll still be there before, during, and after the Awakening World broadcast. So I just want us to, if there's something really urgent and essential to share, of course. But I've watched, I know how in some situations a chat box can become this whole thing where people are talking politics and getting into debates. And I just really don't want us to do that. I want us to stay focused on Lorianne and Speed and whoever our particular presenters are, and receive their gifts, receive their inspiration, and be tuned in and not be distracted. So that's where it's coming from. No offense meant to anybody. I love each and every one of you. And I do appreciate those of you that are activists. It's important to be an activist. It's not easy to be an activist. So that's tonight's Global Peace Tribe announcement. And with that, we will now go to the perfect source of inspiration, my beloved brother Omashar.
Yes, indeed. And segueing from Lorianne, I did witness early today an experience that Scott had. and his sharing of it was that he took what he experienced and he created a diamond out of it, an absolute diamond. It was amazing. The story, the verbiage doesn't matter, but it's like taking something really crazy that happens into your life and finding the beauty in it, and coming from that point on. And Lauriane, I love you so much. You are such a pure heart. And it's interesting that you were saying about sharing your songs out in the world. And I do miss having a grand piano, because to sit with all that resonance coming through your fingers and the field around you is not replicable, really. Even though I've done my best to do it with my electronic instruments, I don't have the space for a grand piano. But when I get my next 100 grand, I will definitely buy one. But something you were saying is all these amazing songs. I've written hundreds of songs, and yesterday and today, and they really enliven me and turn me on. And I think everybody should have this feeling. And then it's what has happened is I really, I wrote it down here. You said there really is only the journey and the growth of the soul, and it brought to mind the Tibetan sand paintings, how they'll spend a month, 6 months, creating this amazing mandala sand painting, the most amazing thing in the world, and then 10 seconds later, after they've finished it, they'll brush it away. And so I realized that is, if I'd have put Silak over the sand painting, that would be me holding on to that which has already passed. And also what's happened in the last couple of years with music is that I give 100% of my music away now, or completely. I'm not too sure whether what's happening, but there it is. Whatever. So I'm just pinging with your heart and those of us who can hear that. And I think that's everything I have. So I'm going to sing, not acoustic, but hey, I don't care. So my friend.
So beautiful, Omashar.
Yes. I heard that. Oh, hang on. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Brighter than the sun. Here where life is one. All the past falls like rain into the soil of future dreams. Love, the footprint in the sand. Eyes shining like the stars, and the way is suddenly so clear, and we know what has to be done, and still we wonder why the flowers keep on blooming, the stardust in our eyes lifts us all to a higher plane, a deeper truth
our rightful place, and still we wonder why. Life, a promise to fulfill. Now, a vision is revealed, and the blessing of who we really are can be felt throughout our world, and still we wonder why flowers keep on blooming, the stardust in our eyes lifts us all to a higher plane, a deeper truth, our rightful place, and still we wonder why. Light, brighter than the sun. Here where life is one. Love, the footprint in the sand. Eyes shining like the stars, and still we wonder why.
A perfect song for what we're about to experience. Still, we wonder why some of the things that go on in our world take place. Amashar, thank you so much for that choice of a song. Absolutely perfect. Thank you. I'm going to remove the spotlights, and I'm going to go back to myself for a moment. So, I'm about to introduce you my friend Heidi Love. I've known Heidi for many years. We've collaborated. She was a big part of Love Coach Academy. She's was on the show back when we were doing Saturday Night Live and Straight Talk with Trish. She was one of our guests. And she has a beautiful beloved who's a young man, really, relatively speaking, who just had a heart transplant. And I was just on her Facebook page when I saw this. And
I'm not wearing my glasses.
Oh, okay.
But I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all the people in my way. I'm not wearing my glasses.
Oh, okay.
But I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
So there he is, after receiving a heart transplant, mind you, and coming to us straight from the hospital, my dear friend Heidi Love and her beloved Liam. Welcome to the Awakening World.
Oh, thank you, Scott, for having us. Thank you so much. Heidi Love, and this is Liam Strauss. He's not going to say much tonight. He let me know because it's hard. He's choking a lot today, but it feels good to be speaking, but I found myself a little nostalgic. Like normally I'm a teacher and I'm here for a much different reason tonight. So it feels a little, a little interesting, a little awkward. I love the topic of love and faith and creativity. And I'm probably going to get really teary. So I'm sorry, you guys.
Your tears are welcome, Heidi, and we will cry with you.
I think those three words are the epitome of our relationship. And both Liam and I are teachers, and he's an NLP practitioner, and he loves working with men leadership. And we we were friends for a long time and didn't ever think we were going to be together. And we have the most epic love that I could have ever wished for. I had a fantasy in my life of being loved the way he loves me, and I kind of thought my aspirations were too high, and he has surpassed them. But we had built a wonderful life in Hawaii and had a inner outer beauty spa and healing center, and he had made our home every little tiny convenience there could be. He's so imaginative, and we have a tiny home. And Liam has had heart condition most of his life. His first heart attack was at age 29. You can see our rings are EKG tattoos. So we kind of lived life knowing that he had a heart issue, and there was lots of things we didn't do. For instance, when we got in the ocean, I would push him in a floaty. He didn't swim. And people got a kick out of that, and we got a kick out of it. He's a real jackass. Very sarcastic and funny. If he was able to be, he'd be cracking you guys up right now. And I hope on the 14th, when we get to share our story and speak with you guys again on another segment, he'll be well enough to chime in, because you're missing out on his humor tonight. But we went to the hospital. He had a VTAC episode. I won't go into what that means. You can Google it later. They called me. These happen periodically for us. So for us, it was like, all right, they're going to put him out, give him a cardioversion, which means they stop his heart and bring him back to life, basically. And for us, that wasn't a big deal, which is also humorous. And in a couple of days, he would recover and come home. Well, they called me this time at 3:30 in the morning and said, you better come quick, because we don't know if he's going to make it through the night. So I got there, and he was in ICU. And they said we would like to try to get him to Oahu, because here in Hilo on the Big Island, we can't do anything more for him. But to get on the med plane, the small medevac planes that fly between the islands, he had to be stable enough for them to even put him on the plane. So we prayed, and we sat, and I sat with him in ICU, not knowing if he'd make it. And we got on that plane. We made it to Oahu. And then there they were like, also, there's nothing we can do. We need to get him to the mainland, because there's nothing left to turn over. There's nothing we can do but a heart transplant, and they don't do them in Hawaii. So the vac plane is like $100,000 to fly off the island, which is a lot of money. Anyway, long story short, we made it. He's alive. He's been inpatient in the hospital for 2 months. So you can imagine how expensive that is. Our journey now is that he got his heart transplant. And I just want to say thank you to the person that gave the heart and the family that gave the person that gave the heart. We did so much praying about that and have so much reverence for being afforded that opportunity. And Liam is a good steward, and that heart will be well loved by both of us. And it will do amazing things to help other people. But right now, we're not in that position to be helping other people all the time. We're in the position of needing help ourselves. And we have a GoFundMe. I think Scott posted it in the chat. And we appreciate you guys sharing it. We appreciate you sending love and support. We appreciate your donations. It's literally keeping us afloat and alive. And what we're looking at for him to even have a heart transplant, he has to have a full-time caregiver, and that would be me. And so I have to take time off too. And it's just, once he comes home, it's full-time for months, and we talked to the doctors today. up to 6 months, really hard on him. And I can do a little work on Zoom, but other than that, it's the two of us caring for his health and his well-being and telling our story. We completely believe in alchemizing pain, whether it be from our past trauma or toxic relationships or whatever. We're an open book, and we believe that by sharing the pain and learning from it and sharing the lessons, it alchemizes it into something precious. And we're doing that with our stories. So if you like medical gore, we have some. Liam loves posting those videos. But he is a trooper. He's 6 days out of a heart transplant. He's walking the hallways, as you saw. That was the first day after his transplant. He's singing in the hallway. And they said he's just doing amazing and everything is going as it should be right now. And so, yeah, we're just super, super grateful to get to be on here. And we have an epic love story. Okay, my last name is Love. I think that I can say that I loved him enough for his heart to open when he was like, never again. And I've had the opportunity to love him in any stage. And he has loved me in amazing ways. I don't always have faith. I'm terrified right now because we're both recovered addicts and he has to be on a ton of medication, which is so necessary. But of course I have that fear of like, oh my God, am I going to lose him? Am I going to lose him to death? Am I going to lose him to drugs? And he is always the one holding faith. And we had this conversation today and he's like, you know, Heidi, I really need you to be the one right now to say it's going to be okay and that you believe in me and that you know I'm going to fight for us and come back to you in every way. And we've definitely had to love each other creatively. We haven't slept in the same bed for 2 months, but I'll straddle him on the table around all his wires and cords and make out a little. And I rub his feet and I give him lots of baths. And yeah, we don't have a lot of the things that some people think make a relationship right now. We have amazing conversations. We are spiritually connected deeply. We physically can't connect a ton right now. He's hooked up to so many things. You can't see them all, but he's hooked up to a lot of things. And so we have to hook up with our hearts and we have to hook up with our spirituality. And yeah, we're just blessed to be here with you guys. I don't know what else to say. Is there anything else?
I have something I want to say that Heidi won't share. And that is, I was so reluctant to about our relationship in the beginning, because we were such good friends, and I was in such an absolute horrible place. And you know, my spirit guides literally came through, and they were like, "Hello, we named her Heidi Love for a reason." And I was like, They're like, you listen to us about everything else, but this is the one sign you're gonna miss. And I'm like, all right, you know, I mean, what have I got to lose? I've experienced more pain than most people I know. So I was like, you got it. So I've given this relationship everything I have. And let me tell you something, the return on investment, she's got her fingerprint in every aspect of my life. And I could not have asked for a better life. All of a sudden, all my dreams are coming true, including getting a heart transplant. I never even imagined that this was going to be possible to get a heart transplant. I was just completely in the place of being okay with taking the medications, getting the shocks, taking more medications, getting more shocks, time, and then lights out. Well, I really feel like I have basically graduated to another level because of all the work that I have done, and therefore because of the work that Heidi and I have done. And the universe was like, okay, he really wants it. maybe he could be a good steward for us in our word too. And I couldn't be blessed with a better partner. Heidi love, they say.
Heidi love. And we have always people coming in the room every minute, bringing things, and nurses in and out. We have somebody coming in now, so we'll cut it pretty short with that. I am so blessed to be here, so blessed to be loved. Can you set it on the chair over there? That would be great, and I'll move it. I feel like we get to love each other. We're not obligated to love each other. We don't have to love each other. We absolutely get the opportunity to love each other every day. And it's really precious, if you've never been through something like this, to get to love each other in not a perfect state. Like, how do we get to love each other in all these different ways? I mean, he's held space for me through some of my worst trauma things coming up around men and things that other people couldn't hold space for. And now I get to hold space for him and his physical body and care for him. He has past wounds from his mom of feeling like a burden, and I get to help repair that. And we get to help repair each other. And that's what we love to teach other couples when we're teaching. I'll let it go with that.
And one more thing. The one thing too is that what we really comes into our teachings is that life doesn't happen to us. It happens for us. And we get to be a beautiful example of that because of this story. Life is happening for us.
Absolutely. You two are such an inspiration. Now stay for a minute, because I'm going to show you GoFundMe and let people know about what we've got planned. And there's a lot of comments I want to read to you that have come into the chat box.
Yeah.
Eleanor Joy writes, "This is so beautiful. We get to love each other," referencing what Heidi had written. Shoshana writes, "What a miraculous love story, a gift blossoming for both of you and the world." Lorna says, "And it sounds like he received a singing heart." Diara really picked up on the return of investment. Yes, a return of investment of love. Eleanor Joy points out something really important, Heidi. Make sure you're taking good care of yourself. Check in on your self-care. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Definitely very important. Susan Woolridge is on the edge of tears. Shoshana writes, "Calling on the angels and archangels and guides of the light to surround both of you with the most incredible love and grace, faith, hope, and healing. Blessings, blessings, and blessings." Eleanor Joy appreciating your Liam's sense of humor. And on and on. I want to thank Patricia Fortina. She's the first Global Peace Triber, besides myself, to donate to you. She already has donated. And for all of us, you can donate by going to the GoFundMe. I've put the link into the chat box. And please, let's be generous. Even, one thing, even if it's a small amount, it just means so much to see that somebody took the time to send $5 or $10. It doesn't have to be 100. We like 100, we like 1,000, but just the thought means so much. And this is just the beginning. Heidi is a dear friend. And so we're going to dedicate our Awakening World show in a few weeks on Wednesday night, February 14th, Valentine's Day, a day of love. Well, this is the love story we're going to support. So really hoping that all of you will invite lots and lots of friends to be on our show February 14th. That's I think like 3 weeks probably from tonight. It's a Wednesday night. And we're going to really go deeper with Heidi and Liam and hear more of their teachings. And we'll plan a very special show that night. We'll have some extra musical guests. And anyway, so just want to drop that seed for everybody to please consider, make sure that on Valentine's night, you're with us. And more messages coming in. Anasuya writes, "Your love story is exquisite because it is unconditional. Thank you for sharing so vulnerably." and more coming in. Oh, there's a GoFundMe QR code. Thank you. So everybody, this is where you get out your trusty camera and you go towards, there it is, and you click, and that takes you to the GoFundMe. So that's a way that those of you who are watching on cell phones or just on computer, you have your cell phone handy, click the QR code, and let's all work together to support Liam's life-saving heart transplant and recovery. And I do want to say, by the way, Heidi is a brilliant coach. I know many people that have received coaching and support from her over the years. We go way back. How long have we known each other, Heidi?
I was thinking almost nearing 20. I don't know. The kids were, I'm thinking of the daughters, pretty little.
You're pretty little, yeah.
Double digits for sure.
We've been weaving in and out of each other's life for a very long time. Give my best to your daughters. Definitely give my best.
Thank you. Thank you.
They'll join us on February 14th. I would love to see them.
That would be fun. I'll see if they can pop in. That would be a lot of fun.
You just saw we had Tatiana and her mother, so a mother-daughter theme there. Liam, thank you for loving up Heidi so beautifully.
My honor, truly. My great honor in this lifetime to love her.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing a wonderful job. And stick around. We have a little bit more wonderful things for the show taking place. And of course, we'll see you again on Valentine's Day, a day of love, day of Heidi love and Liam love.
Thank you.
But wait, there's more. So, we just started this kind of program of highlighting some of our members of the community. We really have become kind of a unique, almost congregation of loved ones. So it's fun to get to know people. Susan Bloomquist was our first person. And tonight we continue getting to know members of our community with the wild monk of the Mystic Monastery. Jerry Anderson has been with us all the way going back to the beginning, Set a Net Alive, and we have featured him actually before. But it's been a while, so welcome to the spotlight being on you, Jerry, and would love to hear what you want our audience to know.
Well, thank you, Scott. It's a joy to come together, and on this subject of creativity, I like to say that creativity is the closest attribute to our Creator. And when medicine is all said and done, in all the different types of medicine, it's actually we are living on a razor's edge. What do I mean on our health? We're creating a little bit more than's dying constantly. So creativity is so important, and my definition of LOVE is lots of vital energy. So, and the subject of faith is what I'm going to talk a lot about today and tonight. And to start, I arrived on the earth on, appropriately, Earth Day, 4/22/1956. At 7 years old, a crazy experience happened to me where I was struck by heavy metal on my forehead. There's still a scar here. And I was a walk-in at that time. I didn't know what a walk-in was for many, many, many years after that. But I actually lost my relationship with my family. I had to be reintroduced to my family and many things. I still was able to talk. Then in my teenage years, I was struck 3 times with lightning. And those are crazy stories. 2 of the times I was actually in a building that had lightning rods on it. And then I, in my teenage years, got really bad gallbladder problem. And I was traveling down in Pennsylvania, Dutch area in Pennsylvania. And the lady said, "You want to have breakfast with us?" And she says, she's going to have eggs. I said, there's no way I could have eggs. I was 8 hours after I ate anything with a little mayonnaise in it, I was doubled up in pain. She says, "I can fix that." And so she said, "Just go over and sit in that lazy boy chair." And she pulled her stool up and worked on my feet. This is the first time I ever heard of, this is 50 years ago, folks. I even heard of reflexology. And After 3 treatments, she says, now you can have eggs. And I'm happy to report until today, I still eat eggs for breakfast, no problem. So I'm a Taurus, so I was a little bit forceful in this lady wanting her to teach me, and she wanted me to study from her teacher, and I'm like, no, I had the miracle from you. Mind you, now I'm only 20 years old. And she was very wise. When she got done teaching me feet, she said, now, Jerry, you don't know about feet until you've done 20 pair of feet. So in those days, I was traveling as an executive, and my partner, he liked to get to hotels where they had the outdoor hot tubs, you remember, like Holiday Inn used to have. And we were in there, and I says, here, give me your feet. I have to do 20 pair of feet. And so he gave me his feet, and next thing I knew, I had sit back down, and he says to me, how did you know my shoulder was what was hurting? I'm like, I don't know. He said, you worked on my shoulder. And not only did you work on my shoulder, you was talking in some kind of Chinese language. That was the first time I ever went in trance. And I worked in trance doing healing work for a number of years now, 40 plus years. And the closest I can share with you guys what is being in trance is you have to watch the nice lady on TED Talk who is a brain scientist who had a stroke, because she explains exactly how it is just to be focused and functioning in your right brain only. When you're in trance, it's the same way. People would have to stop me and say, Jerry, are you thirsty after a couple hours of work or whatever? I didn't even know, okay? So a couple of things I'd like to say about the healing work is that the 2 things I tell monks is the most important use of the English language. That is when you set your intention and when you make a decision. Those 2 are the most important. And so many people who come for healing, they didn't have the right intention. They had an intention of like, well, I don't want pain, or I don't want cancer, or I don't want whatever, okay? Well, I'm sorry, folks, but faith does not work with the word not in it. In other words, you can't say not a negative and expect a positive when you're setting your intention. For example, if I say to you, don't see the pink elephant in your head. Everybody just saw a pink elephant in your head. It didn't work. The word not doesn't work. So I came up with 8 words to describe good health. You might want to write these down because it's the perfect intention for health. All of your parts of your body joyously cooperating. That means your spirit, your mental, your emotions, your bank account, everything is cooperating in a joyous cooperation. So I like that for a definition of health. I would like to share a couple of stories that first, I remember one of the ministers that I had as a student for a long time. He used to say, if you have to blow your own horn, you've blown it. So tonight I'm going to blow my own horn a little bit, just kind of like to give you ability to have more strength and courage in your faith and how you live your life. There are 2 stories I'd like to say first here is real short stories that I'm telling you these stories so that you can realize how cared for you are. The first story, I was in Mexico City. This is just a couple of years ago. And as you know, when you go to Mexico, sooner or later, it's going to hit you that your stomach is going to not like something. And oh my gosh, I was headed back to my hotel walking, and I could tell my stomach was rumbling like mad. And I was in a lot of pain. And the next thing I knew, I was sitting on the curb at a very busy intersection in Mexico City. 2 strangers, and of course, God sent strangers that spoke English in Mexico City, drugged me out of the intersection, sat me up. I had passed out in the intersection. They ran for a little Coca-Cola, not a Coca-Cola, orange Fanta to help get my sugar level up a little bit. And then they walked me back to my hotel. Another story I want to tell you in Ecuador, this is also just in the last couple of years. a friend of mine, well, he was supposed to come and pick me up at the place where I was staying in Ecuador. And last minute he says, Jerry, I can't come. I'm really too busy to come pick you up. Take an Uber. So I never mind, because Uber is very easy in foreign countries. And I put in, I want to go where I want to go and everything. It said, go to the front gate of the property I was at. So I dragged my suitcases, you know, it was dirt, okay? And I'm standing at the front gate when the Uber informed me that there was no driver available for me. Now get the picture, folks. I am on a dirt road miles from even a village. And up rolls a beautiful gold Mercedes-Benz, an antique one. And the guy rolls the window down and he says, do you speak English? Wasn't that a nice question? I said, yes. He said, do you need a ride? I says, I sure do. He says, just a minute. I gotta go drop off something. I'll come back and pick you up. And he did. So I'm riding along with him and I'm telling him, you know, just please take me to the next village. And from there, I for sure can get an Uber to where I'm going, because it was like 40 miles away. No, he insisted to take me all the way there. Well, about halfway there, the phone rings. It's my friend who was supposed to pick me up take me on this drive. And I tell him, oh, a stranger has picked me up and has taken me to the place. Well, immediately in Ecuador, they thought I was kidnapped. So he says, give me to talk to the driver. Are you ready for this, folks? They knew each other. So this is how well you're taken care of. And to kind of come full strength all the way around, I had an experience yesterday that happened to me I'd like to share with all of you. You know, Jesus said, by your fruits you shall know them. And so I received last night notice that one of my flock had passed away last evening. She was a student of mine for over 40 years. And shortly after she passed, her son went downstairs, and on top of all of her papers, she had a 2-page note. And he sent me a picture of it. And I would like to read to you what she wrote. She didn't know she was writing it to me. She just wrote it, okay? She says, one of the greatest miracles in my life was when I came in contact with Gerald Anderson in July 1987. In a visit to Sedona, a shop owner in her 70s said I needed to call this man Jerry. After she heard my story of how sick I was, losing hope and faith in doctors. The traditional medicine wasn't doing so much good for me after years and years of going to doctors. To treat my lung diseases, which was subsequent 14 hospitalized pneumonia. Now, this lady was less than 30 years old. 14 times hospitalized pneumonia and 2 times active tuberculosis in her life. She said, I called Jerry 3 days after being very reluctant. I felt I had nothing to lose, but I knew the impact. I never knew the impact he and his gifts would have on me, changing my life in ways I never knew possible. When I met Gerald, I could hardly climb steps, never mind mountains or hills. I went home back to New York City. This was in Sedona. My health was so much better that my doctors noticed and my family saw. I wanted to live again because I had a renewed faith, and it gave me hope. So it wasn't just a physical healing I received, but also emotional, mental, and spiritual healing. He continued to work with me from a distance, and there I experienced even more miracles, getting stronger every day. When my faith had wavered and questioned the Lord, he brought me back. Jerry extended my life force energy through his knowledge, wisdom, love, support, all the while giving it to God, not looking for praise or validation. That validation was I was climbing mountains as deep as the Grand Canyon because of him and his gifts. Even now, 39 years later, Gerald has initiated knowing of when it was having a healing crisis. He would just show up my front door, guiding me with what he had to do next. He would give me of himself again and again and continue to share his life, always giving the credit to the Lord. I truly believe in that shop in Sedona, an old woman knew. She too had experienced the love of God's and of people in need. I believe that I wouldn't be here today if I had not experienced the commitment of healing and help from a stranger. He changed my life. In God's love and care, Tara Walters. And if there's any time, I would like to handle questions if anybody has a question. Also, I put my email in the chat. And also, recently I wrote a book for youth in finding purpose and meaning in their life. It's just 2 pages long. If you want to enjoy that, I put it in the chat for you.
Jerry, thank you so much. And just one quick question. Anything you can share with us about the Mystic Monastery? You haven't mentioned much about that. We're tight on time, but tell us a little bit about what's happening there.
Well, since the pandemic, everything has kind of come to a pause. Working in a couple of different areas of kind of putting a new umbrella over it of some existing spiritual groups going on in the planet that I couldn't even have thought of when Spirit first took me to be available and be like, I always call myself a placeholder at the monastery for whoever is, the one that basically I should say Saint Germain kind of runs the show with the monastery. So I'm sure he's got many plans for what's next.
All right, well, and the monastery is 10,000 acres in Puerto Rico that Jerry is responsible for. So it's an extraordinary property, which hopefully someday maybe we'll have a Global Peace Tribe retreat there.
Yes. Can you imagine on an island, Puerto Rico, that there is 10,000 acres that had never, ever been owned on an island?
I mean, that's such an enormous amount of property, 10,000 acres.
Yes. Just to give you an idea, that's 70% the size of Manhattan.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
Just pure jungle. Purest jungle. No Wi-Fi, no electric lights, pure jungle.
Jungle.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many, there's a lot of comments coming in from our audience for you. People love you very, very much.
Yes, I love all my tribe.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on and sharing with us. Reverend Jeffrey writes, I am so grateful for Jerry. Absolutely. George Noble writes, great sharing, Jerry. Thank you very much. Gives me hope that I can improve myself. Jennifer writes, thank you, Jerry. You are so inspiring. Havala and Renee want the book for their kids. And Eleanor Joy says, I don't see this as tooting your own horn. It's a sharing of our divine source with the world.
Yes.
George says, what a great teaching about faith. Lorna writes, what a great story, talking about the gold Mercedes story. What a great story of synchronicity happening more and more these days, isn't it?
You know, I have to say one more thing about the story in Ecuador, okay?
Sure.
So this guy carries me like 40 minutes till we finally get to find the place I was supposed to go to. And I get out, and I, of course, thank him and try to pay him and everything, and he wouldn't take nothing. And then he said the most crazy thing, Scott. He says, this has been like confessional. Because he knew I was a priest, right? And it took me a while to figure out what in the heck he was talking about. Scott, the entire ride, he was telling me what he had learned from trying to commit suicide.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's an important part of the story.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes we just have to tell somebody who's not going to be judging.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As a coach, I can tell you that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Scott, for all that you do for humanity.
Well, thank you, Jerry. I love you so much. I look forward to many, many more years together. Jerry was at both of our retreats, of course, and he led the famous cave expedition in Sedona. So look forward to many more adventures with you, Jerry. It's prayer time, and we have a lot to pray for. Praying for, of course, our beloveds Heidi and Liam, and to facilitate, as they do so beautifully, that dynamic duo, Desiree and Diarra. I turn things over to you.
Thank you, Scott. So I'm just going to begin by taking a nice big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I also want to just say that, you know, that frequency of love is healing, right? So when we love each other and we share that love, we just heal. We heal our hearts, we heal our bodies, we heal our spirit. So I'm just bringing in some of that love frequency. Let's raise that love frequency together now. Nice big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. That love frequency surrounds you. We upgrade your DNA so that we can bring in a higher frequency. You may notice it moving a lot faster. Letting go of those things that burden our hearts. They are doing some cleaning work. Being very gentle as we clear the energy. Seeing kind of each person's head just being touched. That light energy being kissed on their foreheads. We are thankful you all are here. Gratitude.
So beautiful. And we can feel that expansion moving throughout our entire bodies. That love comes in and blesses each and every cell in every way. And taking this beautiful love that we co-create, scooping it up with our hands and sending it out through our tribe here in the room, out through the ethers to all those listening, expanding it out in concentric circles like ripples in a pond. We throw that rock of love, rock solid love in and let it ripple out. And pushing that out with all of our bodies throughout our entire country, with specific spots going into those places that require more love. And beyond, around the globe, out galactically and beyond, and then bringing that back down, grabbing those stars, bringing that back down. So grateful to members of our tribe that are here tonight, some having just gone through surgery. So good to see you here tonight. Sending love out to some of our tribe members who aren't feeling well. And just placing all those wants and prayers and needs in our chat, knowing that as you speak it, as you write it, so it is done. And just maximum grace and hope for those feeling so hopeless and forlorn and lost. And then bringing that joy out, bringing that joy out. So grateful for this work that we get to do together. It's so beautiful.
An expansion. Gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you both so very, very much. Thank you. On Saturday night, we will be celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday, and hallelujah, Anasuya will be kind of leading that. We also have a wonderful video that you may remember from Pato and Antoinette. And we also have a really fun experience with our friend Kurt Johnson from Light on Light. So that's going to be this Saturday night. Then next Wednesday, a week from tonight, we will be celebrating another one of our favorite people, Reverend Jeffrey Colebrook's birthday, which also happens to be on the same birthday as Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Religion, religious science, I should say. So we're going to be celebrating them. And we've got Marshall Lefferts as our special guest speaker. That's a week from Wednesday night. And Tatiana Speed will be back playing music that night. And Lee Kempter will be with us. So that's going to be really fun. And then a week from Saturday, another Authors That We Love with a great lineup. We've got my good friend TJ Woodward, who wrote Conscious Recovery. We've got Elizabeth April. I love Elizabeth. We've got Deborah Giusti, who's got a very important new publication. Katrina Valancourt. And I'm forgetting one other person. Oh, Samantha Sweetwater. So it's going to be a great Authors That We Love. So we've got some great shows coming up. For any of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you have not registered for the new season, go to globalpeacetribe.com. Join us. Now's the time to do it. You'll get all the Zoom room links. Come on into the Zoom room and join this beautiful, beautiful congregation of Peace Tribers. We're all about love. Come share the love with us. And our absolute wonderful love every show comes through our house musical artist, my co-pilot, my friend, Omashar.
All right. Dearly beloved, we're here for this thing called life. Hey, love you, Liam. When you feel like giving up, when you feel like letting go, living in this ever-changing world, when it seems that all is lost and you don't know where to turn, the future seems so very far away. So just know there really is a plan. The sun will always shine, and with your hand in mine, all heaviness fades away. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day. So when it seems that you're alone and the fears knock at your door, remember I am just a breath away. You are my brightest star. You've just forgotten who you are. Remember there is nothing in the way. And just know there really is a plan. The sun will always shine, and with your hand in mine, all heaviness fades away. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Da-da-dum-dum-dum. So when you feel like giving up, when you feel like letting go, remember I am just a breath away. And just know there really is a plan. The sun will always shine, and with your hand in mine,
heaviness fades away. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day.
I want to I'm bringing up all of our kind of people that were presenters tonight so we can see everybody that was a presenter. So there he is, the wild monk of the Mystic Monastery, Jerry Anderson, Diara and Desiree, of course, Omashar, Lori and Speed, Havilah and Renee, and of course our beloveds, Liam and Heidi, our role models for true love. Thank you everybody for being presenters on the show.
And Liam, I was singing that directly into your heart, brother. Dude, thank you for being with us tonight.
Wait, say it again.
I felt it. I felt the spirit of the light move me. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Love you, brother. Love you all.
Love you, bud.
And going to Gallery View. Thank you, everybody, Global Peace Drivers. What a lovely show this was, wasn't it? And hallelujah, Anasuya, and I and others will be back on Saturday night. Hope to see all of you then. Have a great few days. God bless you all and take care.